thank you, all of you, who come to share our sadness. My sister Cody was the family clown of the Donato family. If you were sad, she would make you happy. And I miss her so much because every time I'm sad, I used to tell her, Cody, make me laugh. And she used to make me laugh. Unfortunately, she was always full of joy. And I told her, I warned her, be careful, because she was telling me she was organizing her birthday that's coming next week, on the 22nd. And she said to me, I'm going to follow my grandfather's on the Donato side custom that every time it was his birthday, he celebrated it for a week. And now that I have been staying in Spain for 21 years, back and here, back and forth, I noticed that that is also the custom in Europe, that when they celebrate for a week. They eat and drink and be merry, and I guess that's where my grandfather, the Filipino side, also did, because of the 400-year occupancy of the Spaniards colonizing the Filipinos over there. And I noticed very much similarity, that I feel so at home in Spain. Well, I really appreciate every one of you. And with all my heart that's breaking right now, I feel so happy that at least we can celebrate her birthday, although maybe she's laughing at us over in heaven, where she is. Well, it's time that maybe Father would like, and I just want to thank you again from the bottom of my heart for you to come, especially my cousin Menchu. In spite of her sickness, is here, and I appreciate so much Menju and my cousin Joselito and my cousin Rosillo, of course. We were very close to Tita Shoni. And I thank you all again. Thank you so much.
So very good morning and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mary Donato, and I'm the youngest of the 9 children of Carmen Rivera and Mariano Donato. So I have lived through my brothers and sisters who were much, much older. You know, each one has a different personality, different gift. And my sister Coti was really one of, you know, just very bubbly, very happy person, very giving. She was just a fountain of life. Okay, so when Ray called me a week ago at 2 p.m. Washington time and told me that there was a death in the family, I was just so numb, and I just couldn't believe what I was hearing again for the 3rd time, because this was my 3rd sibling who died in a blink of an eye, just quickly. No pain, no suffering. When the Lord calls, they go very quickly. So this was the 3rd call within a span of 4 to 5 years. Each sibling had a 4 to 5 year difference of the death. So Mitzi was lost in 2002, Brother Rafe was lost in 2006, and then we have 2011. So when the call came, I said, oh my gosh, here we go again. So I took time and grieved on my own. I sat in front of a beautiful fountain in front of the Museum of American History, and I just felt the water that was just gushing out of the fountain, the overwhelming, you know, amount of love and generosity and kindness that my sister had for all of us. And I want to cite 3 instances which really transformed lives of people. Number 1, she divorced, in quotes, her husband Mandy so that her children could get that green card. For me, for somebody to go beyond the boundary of actually divorcing someone, even in paper, and so that her children could enjoy the life of America was, I've never heard it, you know, so that story really stayed with me. And now her children are very successful. They've been here for a very, very long time. The second story was the girls, she actually took in 2 young girls, Angel and Claire, who were orphan, not orphan, but the father could not take care of them. Anyway, she fed them, she housed them, she educated them so that they would have a future. Okay, and I lived in that home for 5 days last December, and I saw how these girls were, you know, they're teenagers. They never had anything that was so beautiful given to them by Tita Cody. You know, she gave them a home, which they never had. And I said, this is too generous. I mean, this woman was just opening her home, her entire life, so that these girls would grow and have a future. And now, you know, and that for me was really, you know, just exemplifying as a very inspirational, and I know I can't do that. I could never just be that open and generous. And the third one was the way she treated all of us, for me especially. I mean, never did she say no. Cody, I'm coming home, I need a driver. Okay, my driver will pick her up. Cody, I don't have a place to stay. Can you? Yes, no problem. Cody, I need a car. You know, when I'm traveling, I have to so many. Yes, get my driver. It was just constant openness. And I told her that last year when I said, you know, this means a lot to me. You know, not living in the Philippines and coming home. I mean, you never know how to say no. Because again, the gushing of generosity, it was just so much. So for me, you know, thank you, Cody, for being my sister. Thank you for just giving us 75 years of beautiful life in this world. And I know that today you are up there with Mitzi, Brother Rafe, and Mama and Papa, and all, you know, Joel, and all Mon Omania, I mean, all of Leonin, our cook. I mean, they're all happy and rejoicing, and hopefully, you know, we should see each other again. So just like a voyage, you know, welcome home, you know, we welcome her home in the home of the Lord, and pray for us here on earth. We need your prayers. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. I hope you will join us for lunch this afternoon. We will have lunch and refreshment. Again, thank you for coming. Have a great day.
Yeah,
yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just wanted to, I don't think I need a mic. I just wanted to say something from a nephew's perspective. Probably the Pantaleons were the closest family to us when we were growing up. And we would go to vacations together. I remember going to Novaliches. Remember, Buzzy, going to Novaliches with Tita Cody? And we'd go to Baguio, you know, and we'd have so much fun. And so my closest cousins, I would say, would be the Pantaleons. And it really hit me hard. You know, sometimes you hear somebody passed away and it's kind of surreal. It hasn't hit you home yet. And I was talking to Arfi before he left for Manila for the services. And he mentioned to me on the phone, you know, Victor, I don't have a mom anymore. And that's when it really hit me, you know. And I miss Tita Cody so much. And, you know, just to confirm what Tita Mary was saying, she was so generous. When we go to the Philippines, we would end up staying at Tita Cody's house, right? And always, every day, my favorite was longanisa de vegan. So we would have longanisa de vegan and eggs and rice, you know, and tomatoes for breakfast. And it was just fantastic because, you know, you can't, I don't do that a lot here because of the high blood and cholesterol. So, but I just wanted to share a story. Tita Cody was very resourceful, and I think they shared this in the services in the Philippines. She had, when we lived, I've lived most of my life here in San Jose, and we were off Holbrook Drive and Meridian Avenue. And Tita Cody would come, and at a certain point she had several rental properties in San Jose. So, but she would never be good with directions, so she came here and she had to get to the airport, right? And she didn't know exactly how to get to the airport. So Tita Cody says, oh, well, let's look at a plane, and wherever that plane's going to go, that's where the airport's going to be. So she ended up following an airplane, and I think she went to an on-ramp or off-ramp going the opposite way of the way she was supposed to go. So that was a miracle story about Tita Cody. And another thing that I must confess, you know, Tita Cody did, you know, high blood pressure and cholesterol runs in our family. We're all supposed to watch what we eat and everything, but Tita Cody, of course, never was, she never had boundaries, right? She would always, like, cross the line, right? So we went for our Noche Buena, 2009, where all the families get together and we have a reunion for Christmas time, right? And so I asked Rocio, her daughter, I said, what would Tita Cody like, you know, before we left? And you know, she goes, you know what, Mom really likes Krispy Kreme donuts. So I guess I must confess, I probably contributed to a little bit of her cholesterol because I bought her a dozen, remember that, honey? I brought her a box of a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts and I gave it to her and her eyes just lit up. And she goes, I'm gonna keep this with me in my bedroom. So Tita Cody was just so fun-loving, you know, always partying.